Hi there, and welcome to Influence, a show about the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. I'm your host, Jessica Graves. Today with me is Dr. Carly Morrison, Assistant Professor in the School of Human Sciences. Welcome, Dr. Morrison, to the show. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about who you are, where you're from, maybe what your academic history is?
Yeah, thanks, Jessica. I'm really excited to be here today. So I am originally from Texas, kind of have been moving east throughout the years. I came here in 2014 to pursue my PhD in agricultural and extension education, previously making my way through Arkansas. And I started really working with students immediately, teaching a couple classes and advising students as a graduate assistant. And then when I graduated in 2017, I transitioned into a faculty position, and I've been there ever since.
The rest is history,
yes,
right?
Yes. I never thought I would be here this long.
So you actually spend quite a bit of time. You mentioned the teaching, but let's talk a little bit about the agricultural science degree program. I kind of like to think that this is a hidden jewel in the College of Ag, but it's highly interdisciplinary. So why don't you tell our audience a little bit about the program and perhaps talk about that interdisciplinary nature of it?
Yeah, sure. So the Ag Science program is kind of something that I am really proud of and something that I work really hard to promote and make our students really the best they can be coming out of that program. It is very interdisciplinary, and it definitely has a purpose for our students who are pursuing that degree. Our students take a core set of courses, and then they get to choose two focus areas to really kind of specialize their skill set and their experiences while they're here. They take a total of 30 hours in the focus area section, 15 hours in one focus area, and 15 hours in a second focus area. We have students who are interested in the plant science side of agriculture, so they might focus in integrated crop management or precision agriculture or agricultural pest management. We also have students who are interested in animal production, and so they might focus in the animal production focus area or food science. We also have agricultural education, leadership and communications, agricultural engineering, technology and business, agricultural business. So it's really broad and meant to meet the students' needs where they're at and what their career goals are.
So I'm glad you mentioned that. Those career aspirations may oftentimes be the motivator in what two focus areas a student may choose. What are some of those career aspirations that you see many of the students pursuing? Where are they going at this point?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Our students usually go and work in sales, so chemical sales, seed sales. They might go on to go back to their farm, their family farm, and continue in production agriculture. We have students who go on to get graduate degrees. They work for large seed companies, Bayer, Syngenta, stuff like places like that. We have some students who go on to work for agencies such as NRCS or USDA or Extension. So it's broad, but I like to say that the Ag Science degree prepares our students to work on the people side of production agriculture.
Absolutely. That's a really clever way to put it, and I've not heard anybody say that, but I would definitely echo that 100%. And painting with those broad strokes oftentimes allows you to turn out a very well-rounded and diversified student.
Yes.
So we talked about career opportunities. We talked a little bit about what the program is. Let's talk specifically about transfer student opportunities. So in the last few years, we've kind of gone from what used to be called the 2+2 agreements to now we have these pathway agreements. We have two specifically with, or one each, one at Mississippi Delta Community College and one at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College at the George County campus. So let's talk a little bit about maybe the value of those pathway agreements as kind of a transition for those transfer students, and then what are the benefits of those pathway agreements from your perspective in working with the students?
Yeah, so we have a large number of students who transfer from community colleges in the state of Mississippi, and those pathway agreements really allow students to take a specific course load at the community college and then transfer those in seamlessly into our ag science program and then continue to really focus on building their skills in their focus areas.
Yes.
And so we know that if students enroll in those pathway programs, they are taking the courses they need to take at the community college to prepare them for success once they get here and join, our program.
That's awesome. And just to be clear, the pathway agreement is specific with the ag science degree program. Sometimes students may get a little bit confused on maybe they start out as an ag science student and they transition over to a different degree program within the college, and that transition of or application of some of those transfer classes may not transfer in the same way.
Right.
So just to be clear, that pathway agreement, it allows really that seamless transition from community college into the agricultural science degree program.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right, well, let's transition the conversation a little bit. You are here as our primary guest this morning, and let's talk about academic advising. So you were the faculty recipient of the Wes Ammon Outstanding Faculty Award in 2020. And so, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
We're very proud of you. So let's talk about academic advising. For many, it's something that we talk about advising season, if you will, but advising happens year-round. It should, right? And so what are some of your best practices, and how do you approach academic advising in your faculty role?
Yeah, so I love advising. That is, as a 100% teaching faculty member, advising is something that I just absolutely love. And it is something that happens all year round. We definitely have, like you said, that advising window, but I am constantly interacting with my students and not only advising them academically, like what classes they're going to be taking, but just in life in general. Because for a lot of our students, I mean, this is the first time that they've been away from home or at a big institution, and it's the hardest thing they've ever done. I think my outlook on advising and teaching really shifted whenever I realized that, although I realized that this is not the hardest thing they've ever done, for my students it is. And I have to remember that whenever I am talking them through their stresses and the things that are really, making them worried in the moment. And so my outlook on advising and teaching really changed whenever I had that shift.
There's a lot of wisdom in that, and I certainly appreciate that in my role. To hear you say those words. Kind of along those lines, you referenced this very quickly, but that professional development, advising is more than just making a schedule, which is oftentimes what students and maybe parents even think, oh yes, this person helps with schedule building, but it is so much more comprehensive than that. And so talk about maybe any specific tidbits that you have in helping those students prepare for, building networks or preparing for internships or other forms of experiential learning.
Yes, that is so important for success once they have graduated. So I start from the very beginning advising, and I am very lucky in the School of Human Sciences that we get to faculty advise. I realize that that's not the case in every department, but I love that part, that aspect of the School of Human Sciences. And I even teach a 1-hour orientation to ag science class. We were talking about the ag science degree program a little bit earlier, but all of my students in the ag science degree program and some students who just need that 1 hour of credit will enroll in that their first semester, either their first time freshman first semester or their first semester here as a transfer student. And that's really my first opportunity to start to build that relationship with my students. I require them to schedule several short advising meetings over the course of the semester where we don't even talk about classes. We don't even talk about registering or things that have to do with coursework. We talk about, how's your family and where are you from and what are you interested in? And so that I can start to build that trust and that rapport with my students, and then they're comfortable enough to come back to me and say, hey, this is going on. I need to take care of it now before it's a big problem down the road.
That's again another tidbit of wisdom, but I think that that's crucial in working with this group of students that we have right now and being able to help them kind of cope and navigate through what academic challenges that they may have. It's not about just those challenges in a classroom setting. It's about life. Life happens, and we recognize that. So let's maybe shift one more time and talk about as academic advising season is just around the corner, what words of wisdom do you have to the student and how they can best prepare for academic advising to really get the most out of that with their academic advisor?
Yes, that is so important. And in the next couple of weeks, the students will probably be receiving an email from either the student services coordinator or someone in their school or their department that says, hey, advising is coming up. Make sure that you are scheduling your advising appointment. Those emails are so important. We don't just send emails just to send them. They usually have really important information in them. And so whenever you get that email, make sure you get in touch with your advisor, schedule that appointment early because they fill up quickly. And the quicker you can get in with your advisor to be advised and released to register, the easier it will be to get into the classes you need to get into. And that's something that a lot of students don't realize. You have to meet with an advisor and you have to be released before you can schedule your classes for the next semester. And so if you don't see that email or you don't make that appointment, you're not going to be able to register at all. And so that's very important. Be prepared. Look at your CAP compliance on Banner. Look at the master class schedule. If it's not available for the semester coming up, you can always look at a semester previous to the one coming up and kind of get an idea of what's going to be offered and come prepared. I mean, ultimately, your success in college and your academic career is I tell my students this, is your responsibility. I'm here to help you, but ultimately it's your responsibility to be successful. And so you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared. You have to look for when classes are offered, when they meet, if they're needed, all of those things, and at least come in with an idea. Also, be professional, right? If you need to send an email, be professional in your communication. Tell whoever you're emailing who you are, what you need, sign your name, add a subject line. I mean, these are all things that I talk about with my students in class, and that goes for academic advisors or just in general when communicating professionally.
That's absolutely good professional development advice for the students. Okay, well, we're almost out of time. I always love to ask our guests, where's your favorite place on campus and why?
Oh, that is a great question. And you know what? Baseball season starts this weekend, and so Dudy Noble.
Okay.
Yeah, the left field lounge. It just doesn't get any better.
Fair enough. It's not what it used to be, but it's still amazing.
That's exactly right.
That's going to do it for this episode of Influence. See you next time.